One of the many consequences of asking Americans to stay home is what it has meant for schools, teaching, and learning. For most, the normal school day has been halted, at least for now.
I'm Dawn Bishop McLean in Madison, Mississippi. I'm a mother of two girls. We start every morning about 8:30. We have a schedule, and that schedule is a blessing because it keeps us on track.
It's been a tough adjustment. My name is Aaron Warner. I'm from South Burlington, Vermont, and I have a son who is 9 years old.
My name is Megan Smith, and I live in Seldovia, Alaska. I'm a teacher, and I teach 6th through 12th grade. And I have two kids. Cecilia is in kindergarten. She is 6, and Kaylee is in 3rd grade, and she is 8. It's challenging to not be able to sit one-on-one with a student and really help them understand what they're missing. And I think as a parent, my biggest challenge is just going to be how often can I be available, and teaching my own children that they're just going to have to be a little bit more independent and do things on their own.
With my son being autistic, a lot of times there are these things where I can't just be like, hey, here's a math worksheet from your teacher. Spend 30 minutes on this. I have to sit there with him and we go through it. I probably only worked like 15 hours last week at my regular job, just because I was taking on all this other stuff. And it was important to make sure that he had some consistency from as we make this transition, because it's hard for him.
Hi, Patrick.
That transition in some cases has been helped along by technology. Play dates via iPad, classroom video conference calls on a technology called Zoom.
My name is Ricky House. I am a 11th and 12th grade social studies teacher at Woodrow Wilson High School in the District of Columbia. My biggest thing for the past week and a half has just been communicate. There are definitely some students who, the minute I post an assignment in the morning, they're going to get right to it and hand it in. You have other students who, there are some barriers. We found out last week that a lot of 30% of the student population in DC, I think, does not have access to technology. So they're preparing to give out devices to those students who are in need, I think, in the coming weeks.
The technology gap is something school districts are grappling with from east to west, passing out laptops and tablets where possible, driving Wi-Fi buses to internet-free zones.
I'm a professor of psychology at Jackson State University. I know some challenges for my college students are some don't have adequate Wi-Fi. Some live in rural areas here in Mississippi. There's still a digital divide among minority populations in their community. So I've had to adjust how I teach.
For more now on the challenges presented by distance learning, I'm joined by Kate Gardoki. She is a former teacher herself who now designs curriculum and trains other teachers. She's a senior associate with the Great Schools Partnership, and she joins me via Skype from Maine. So Kate Gardoki, how big a challenge are we talking about for these millions of students and teachers and parents?
Well, this is a tremendous challenge. There's just no way to overestimate it. If we think about those groups one by one, for the teachers and the educators, everyone involved in every school district, they had, in some cases, 24 or 48 hours to prepare to completely re-envision what education looks like. And they did it with great creativity. It's monumental. And for our students, we asked them also to re-envision what learning looks like, to re-envision what their social lives look like. And for parents, as we just heard, we're hearing from so many parents trying to educate their children, take care of their children, and do their own jobs at the same time. The high school students may be able to learn more effectively on their own, or they may be able to, govern themselves more effectively. But the depth of what we ask of them is so huge that there's really just great challenges all around. Right now, in this unprecedented moment, all we can ask is for everybody to do their best and to keep the children first, to constantly ask, how are the children doing? And so for parents, that means checking in as much as we can, setting up those schedules, also giving kids some freedom to just de-stress. And for teachers and for educators, it means setting up as many ways as we can to figure out what kids might be falling through the cracks, what kids are missing out on what we're trying to share with them, and how can we stop that from happening? How can we reach out to the kids who need the most? The other thing that as parents, and as teachers, that we have to do is try to do our best, show our students love, let our students know that we know they're learning and that we can see everything they're learning on their own. They may be dealing with stress by playing the guitar for 3 hours, or by talking with friends and supporting them, or maybe they're reaching out to grandparents. And so as parents and teachers, we want to be recognizing those things that kids are doing and honoring that and asking, how can that become what our students learn during this time?